Is there responsibility on the woman to not be a nasty ass hoe? Yes or no?
No, I believe that women have control over their bodies.
Oh my fucking
100%.
God! Yeah, no,
100%. Women have control over the bodies. There's nothing wrong with of a woman that likes to have sex. What's going on, homie?
Configurations going. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. I moved it to Xbox. I figured out how to configure it. I can I can listen to stages and VC and stages on my Xbox. I just swap it on my phone. First of all, bitch.
What?
You ain't shit for that pineapples on pizza take. You need to go to jail. Maximum security prison.
What is wrong with people hating pineapple pizza so much?
Jail, bro. You need to go straight to jail.
Why do people hate it so much?
That's prison, bro. If you put pineapple on your pizza, you have over 1,000 bottles of baby oil stashed in your house.
Have you had it? It's
disgusting.
Have you had it?
That answers your question.
Have you had it?
Yes, dummy. Yes.
Why do you think it's disgusting?
This shit, fruit and cheese, brother.
Delicious. Delicious.
I don't want tomato sauce on fruit.
What do you think tomato sauce is?
Shit is disgusting.
It's a fruit. Tomato sauce is fruit. Tomatoes are fruit. Are you now looking that up? Are you now realizing you're wrong? Yeah, I just won the argument.
Anyway, deflection. This is not what I wanted to talk to you about. Can you let base guy flash you up here?
Why?
Because I need to hear him verbalize what the fuck you said about. First of all, you ain't worth the damn for dodging me on that mandatory paternal DNA testing yesterday.
Bonji, there was a hurricane.
Nah.
There was a hurricane, my dude. I was losing connection. Left day in.
It was a hurricane, but you still dodged me.
How do I dodge? I have no internet. What am I dodging?
You heard me out.
What am I dodging? I wanted, dude. I did everything in my power to try to make it happen. Dude, let's have the discussion now. Then let's have the discussion.
I'm gonna tell everybody what happened. Not until I'm done venting. I'm gonna tell everybody what happened.
What do you mean?
He read my list. You read my list of takes, and you said you asked me to pick one. I was like, all right. So I think that paternity testing should be mandatory. That was one of the ones. That was one of the takes on my list. Right.
Okay.
34 takes, 35 takes, and then you said, and then I gave you an expansive my expansive point of view on why I believe that it should be mandatory. That mandatory DNA testing should be a federal thing, and you were like, okay, I don't have a counter argument.
I don't know. No, I was like, I don't know. I don't have a strong feeling about it one way or another. It's like so far off my radar. It's not something I think about. Well, yeah, because he's sussing it out a little deeper, and I'm like, all right, well, okay, we can have a discussion about it, right? And I'm thinking about it a little bit, and I'm like, okay, right, it's okay.
Did you or did you not say that? Oh my God, I want to pull out the text so bad. Did you or did you not say something along the lines of you're okay with men living that lie because it would hurt the child more?
Yes. Yeah.
That is unhinged.
That is not unhinged.
That is 100% unhinged.
Not unhinged.
How is that not unhinged? Matter of fact, that's a double entendre. The reason why that is unhinged, right, is because it would cause more detriment to the child in the long run.
How so?
For them to not know who their real father is. That's bad. Why do you?
Yeah, I care about who's taking care of the child. Hang
on. Because you shouldn't just be putting the responsibility on just anybody to take care of the child, especially not the responsibility.
The one that loves the child the most. That's the responsibility.
You're missing the point.
The one that loves the child. I guarantee you the biological father doesn't care about the child.
First Amendment, let me finish. The whole point. Let me finish. Hush. You're talking strictly in a narrow-minded point of view, right? You're looking at it from the position of whoever loves the child the most should be the one to take care of the child. Okay, sure. Let's say hypothetically that the man that was supposed to be the father, he loves the child the most and still wants to take care of the child. Okay, great. In the reality, that's not the majority case. You have a lot of men, and I brought this statistic up yesterday. You have a lot of men, 1 in 3, as a matter of fact, who actually find out that the child does not belong to them but are still paying child support to that said child. You're justifying that, and you're saying that that's a good thing because they should take care of the child and it would be better for the child. It wouldn't be better for the child because they're operating under the perception that this man that is paying for their well-being is their father. And you're in turn not holding the mother accountable for literally lying to the goddamn kid.
We don't know if they're lying.
And the man.
We don't know if they're lying.
How would they not know if they're lying?
You wouldn't know.
How would they not know if they're lying?
You don't know.
Yes, you would.
No, you don't.
If
you got to get a paternity test.
If nobody else knows who the father of that child is, it's 100% the mother because she knows who she slept with.
Okay, so
true or false? True or false?
It depends. It depends on the situation.
What does that depend on? What does that possibly depend on?
What? The person can have sex with multiple people and not know generally who the father is. But like, let's be honest, man, there's probably going to be the father who's like a deadbeat and then the father who actually cares, right? And it's like at the end of the day, paternality holds basically, like in my mind, no value. What I'm interested in is what's best for the child, right? And it's like bringing in like a paternity test that, you know, that says, oh, you're not the father. And then that guy just like fucks off. And then the child is just like much worse off for it. Like that's a worse off society. And we paid for that. That's stupid.
Wait. We're not the ones paying for that. If anybody's paying for that, it's the child and the mother. And the one who's at fault for it is the mother. The mother's the one who's at fault.
It depends.
It depends.
We don't know.
It does not depend. It does not depend.
Yeah, it does. What if the mother was raped? What if the mother didn't know? What if the mother thought that they were barren, but they're not barren? What do you mean?
I'm not going into those dumbass hypotheticals.
That's not a dumbass hypothetical. What if the condom broke?
I'm not going into these whataboutisms.
It's not a whataboutism.
At the end of the day, the woman knows who she slept with. If the woman knows who she slept. You just did a whataboutism.
No.
Okay.
It's not what a whataboutism is.
Let's start. Hold on a minute.
It's when you say, what about this other thing that's not related to the topic that we're talking about? I'm giving it specific criteria that is directly related to the topic that I'm talking about.
No.
Oh my God, calm down.
Survey your chat and survey the Discord chat. You just said, what about if the woman was raped? That is definitionally
what about doesn't mean a whataboutism.
Anyway, like I was saying,
I'm talking about the specific topic.
Like I was saying, if we're looking strictly, you already killed me after Base God Flash. You told me what the fuck you just said because that just pissed me off. If we're looking strictly at the fact that the mother, generally speaking, knows who she slept with and who she possibly conceived that child with, right? She's the one who has sole knowledge of that. To put another man through the paternity of another child, even though that child does not biologically belong to them, is fucking batshit, and you know it's batshit because what you're doing is that you're lying to the man. You're putting the man under the perception that he is taking care of a child that belongs to them. You're putting him under the perception that that this is his legacy, that he should be responsible for the upbringing of. But rather than actually tell him the truth, right? You're putting the man under the confirmation that they should be taking care of a child that doesn't belong to them because the child would hurt at the fucking end. It's not his fault if he decides to opt out of that child's life after just finding out that the child doesn't belong to him. If it's anybody's fault, it's the fault of the mother. And by you putting the responsibility on the man to still take care of a child that doesn't belong to them, you're removing accountability from the mother that fucking lied, dude. That's common sense.
You done?
Did you hear anything that I just said?
Yeah, of course I heard what you said.
All right, repeat what I said in my argument.
Yeah, let me repeat everything that what you said. Like the what?
Two
like
sentences
6 paragraphs that you just said?
Two sentences or less. Summarize what I said.
Bonji, I'm not doing that. Bonji.
Because you didn't hear what I said.
I did hear what you said, right? The brain doesn't work where you get it perfectly right every single time. You're saying that you're placing the responsibility of the mother. It is the mother's responsibility to be honest about it, right? I generally agree with you that the mother ought be try to be honest. I agree with that, right? But what I'm not concerned about parental or familial genetic heritage, right? That I place zero value, literally zero. What matters is that somebody is brought into life with no choice of their own, right? And I think that what I want is the best possible outcome, right? And I agree that they're lying, and it's bad that they're lying, and it's like maybe there should be some sort of retribution or whatever on the mother. But then the problem becomes is like, okay, well, does the child deserve to suffer as a result of that decision? And I don't think that the child ought basically receive the brunt of the consequence, right? Because really at the end of the day, the person who is receiving the brunt of the consequence is in fact the child. It's not the mother, it's not the father, right? It's the child, right? Because if the father realizes that they are not the real father, then they'll leave, right? And then most likely they would leave. And then the child basically has no dad. And now they have to like seek child support from a dad who's more than likely not going to give child support. So then I look at this as like, wait, this is a worse outcome. This is making like life worse just so we can have retribution of the mother. That literally makes no sense.
Okay, so first and foremost, it's not only looking at it strictly from the sense of retribution for the mother. It's looking at it from the sense that the woman should be held accountable for
that's what retribution is.
For basically paternity fraud. That's not definite. I'm not getting into a semantics debate with you. I don't consider that to be retribution. But when we're
yes.
a woman, I don't care. A woman should be held accountable for lying and taking a man's assets and his finances for something that doesn't belong to him when she created the perception that something that basically the child belongs to them. In a sense, this would be considered to be fraud, right? So, and also you made the argument that it would be more suffering from the child if the child were to be raised under a single mother household and there be no father in the home, right? It's a lose-lose situation entirely, and it's not his fault. I understand where you're coming from, and while it is noble and while it is just to want to look at it from the sense of what would be better for the child, it's no better for the child, if not worse for the child, to be raised under the notion that this man is actually his or her biological father, rather than actually grow under a single mother household in and of itself. It's worse to be living under a lie, under a false perception that this is your parent versus growing up knowing who your parent is and the parent just being a deadbeat altogether, right? I would argue that the latter is less bad compared to the child growing up under that perception that this is their father, right? And generally speaking, you aren't really addressing the possible negative outcomes that could occur from the child. It's a lose-lose situation regardless, because now we're looking at a mental health aspect. Imagine how it would mentally affect the child, whether we're talking at 8 years old, 16 years old, or even as an adult, right? When they grow up under this perception that this man is my father, and then they find out through DNA evidence that verifies that this man is in fact not your biological father. Yet you still think that it's better to put him through that scrutiny, to put him through all of that work and all of that pointless effort into taking care of a child. You put that legal obligation on a random ass man to take care of a child that doesn't belong to him because that's the betterment of the child. I would then question your morality at that point.
Let me give you an example, right? I have, for example, 2 grandmothers, right? There's the one that I grew up with, and then my biological grandmother. And, perdón, mi abuelita. Perdón por todo. En Chile, voy a hacer una cosa que tú no te gusta. Okay. All right. So here's the problem, right? When I'm looking at the my grandma in Chile in comparison, which is my blood grandmother, by the way, to the grandmother, which is my step grandmother that my biological grandfather married. The issue that I have here, what is going on? Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. The issue that I have going on is I'm thinking about what I consider effectively to be my grandmother, right? And my biological grandmother is in Chile, right? She's not in my life at all. Do you know who is in my life though? My step grandma. They're there all the time. Okay. They give me happy birthdays. I go and visit them. They do Thanksgiving dinners. Everything about them, that is their life, right? As far as I'm concerned, right? And so I guess like my issue that I'm having is that the paternality doesn't actually have any value to me, right? And would you say that like you would have more value over like the paternal who is just not there versus like the one that is not related to you is there? You there? Bonji? Bonji?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I had connected to my phone because I wanted to read what I wanted to check the chat real quick. Yeah. So, in a sense, I don't have any studies to measure this. This is strictly from anecdote. But generally speaking, when we're talking in a sense of clarity and in a sense of closure, especially when it comes to adult children, while they have developed a relationship with a step parent or a step grandparent, whatever the case may be, and this relationship is astronomically better than their blood relatives, it still is better for the child, and generally speaking, kids do like it better when they have closure and when they have clarity on who they actually belong to biologically. This isn't just something that happens with a specific subsect of people. This is with anybody. Now, you will have those loose cases where people are like, you know what, I don't give a fuck who I biologically belong to because I know where my family is, and that's noble. That's fine. I personally hold this opinion a lot with some particular people that I'm not blood related to, right? But when we're talking about a child who has been lied to, and by lie I mean this was some information that was kept from them on purpose, right? They know they were raised under the perception that this person is their parent, that this is somebody that they are biologically related to. What this does to the child after they find out is that now they're going through an identity crisis. They don't even know who they belong to anymore. Obviously they belong to their mother biologically, but who else do they belong to biologically when it comes to their father? They don't even know who their father is. They don't know if they got any siblings out there that they don't know about. They don't know if they're assuming that they missed out on opportunities when it comes to meeting new family members that they could have met a long time ago had there been full transparency. And let's not even get to the crux of the issue where you have men who are unironically going out of their way to find their kids. They know their kid is out there, but the kid doesn't know that their father is looking for them because the mother been lying to them their whole fucking lives. This is more common than you think. And you're more focused on locking in a man who doesn't have any biological tie to this child, and has every right to stay away, to move away from that toxic environment after he just got through being lied to and got through getting his money stolen. You would rather that man be forced to stick around.
Yeah.
Rather than find the man who's biologically related and get them to pay.
I want whatever makes the child happiest, right? And if the recognized father is not biological, I don't give a damn.
You're only
I literally
looking at
give
short,
0 fucks.
you're looking. You're
no. This is very much long-term thinking. This is not short-term thinking.
This is not.
This
No,
is
this
very
is a
much
short.
long-term thinking.
This is
I
a
got to
short
tell you,
term.
man,
You
I'm a lot more connected to my non-biological grandmother than I am connected to my biological grandmother. I don't care that I'm more related to my biological grandmother.
This is a short-term benefit. This is a short-term benefit with long-term consequences.
I'm 35. What am I supposed like? When do I start caring about the biological grandmother again?
It's irrelevant because you know who your biological grandmother.
No dice
you
nada
know who
por
your
mí.
biological grandmother is, and you know who your step-grandmother is. You already knew that. I'm talking about the kids that don't know who their father is. They're raised under a perception.
Yeah, I got to tell you, man. It's probably similar to how the grandmother is for me, right? Where it's like if they raised you from like day one and that's all you recognize, they're going to call you their dad. I'm sorry. I don't think they are going to care if they're like, well, guess what, dad, you were there for me. And you know what, dad, whatever that biological bullshit is there, that's not my dad because they weren't there to raise me.
A lot of men.
Bro, I am now doubling down on this. I am tripling down on this. I am so correct on this. No, I am actually 1,000% correct on this. I have gone from I'm not sure to I am the most correct on this.
You believe you are unhinged if you unironically believe nobody would agree with you on this, and this is the most insane take that you have ever had.
Wrong.
Yes, you are
wrong. Everybody in
wrong.
chat thinks you're being crazy right now.
100% wrong.
Everybody in chat thinks you're being crazy right now. Everybody.
I would love to see it.
Dude, you can look at my YouTube. It's there.
All right, I'll give it a look in a second. But realistically speaking, and then on top of that, dude, I'm not even gonna say that. Dude, your following isn't even that big. I don't give a fuck about your
bit.
I don't give
it a bit. Throw me a bone. I'm working on it.
I don't give a fuck about your 15,
I'm working on it.
About your 15 viewers. I don't give a fuck about your 15 viewers
First of all, my largest video's got 3.3K views.
We're looking at the reality.
And my shorts, I get hundreds of views per short.
When we're looking at the reality of the issue, is that you are blatant. Yeah, it is fucking crazy. That you are blatantly deciding that you would rather put a child through more mental anguish once they find out that a supposed father is not biologically theirs versus knowing the truth. You would rather raise them under a lie than raise them under the truth.
Is there any responsibility on the man to not date a nasty ass hoe?
Yeah, there's plenty of responsibility.
Oh, there is responsibility. Okay, so then. So you would place some responsibility on the man then?
Is there responsibility on the woman to not
All right,
be
well,
a
get a paternity test. You're a man, get a paternity test. If you're concerned about it, go get a paternity test.
No.
I don't want to mandate a paternity test. It's stupid. It's stupid.
Is there responsibility on the woman to not be a nasty ass hoe? Yes or no?
Huh?
Is there responsibility on the woman to not be a nasty ass hoe? Yes or no?
No, I believe that women have control over their bodies.
Oh my fucking God!
100%.
Yeah, no,
100%. Women have control over the bodies. There's nothing wrong with a woman that likes to have sex. Rook tip $5, bro, dude, that's a triple freaking donation. Stop it. You're too nice to me, man. I really appreciate you. Yeah, no, I believe that women should have control over the bodies. Be a hoe. Wow. Go be a hoe. We need more women hosts so that way we can stop having as many involuntary celibates.
This is 100% one of the hottest takes I've ever heard in my life.
It's not a hot take. It's totally legit take.
100% a hot take. You
should not degrade women who like to have a lot of sex. Correct. Yep.
And we should not steal from men by lying to them.
Yeah, again, what I'm concerned with is what is the best outcome for the child. I don't really care about whatever spout they have. I don't really care whatever spout they have.
I understand where
I want the outcome of the child. Yeah, my morality is what's better outcome for society. No, I'm morally consistent. That is entirely consistent.
No, you're not.
I want whatever is the best outcome for society, and by physically having this parent having double decisions as to whether or not that they actually want to take care of the child, where originally they wanted to take care of the child, and the original father, let's be honest, they're not fucking there, and they don't give a shit, right? Because otherwise they would come out and say that, hey, I'm the real father. Then they would actually be involved in the child's life. So at the end of the day, you're basically just depriving a child of their parent. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Nobody's depriving the child. Nobody's depriving the child.
You are.
The parent, but the mother.
Yes, you are. You are.
But their mother. Nobody's depriving the child.
But they are of their father. Aren't children do better in a two-person home?
That's the problem. They do better in a two-person.
No, but if they're willing to take care of that child for their entire life, that is their father. Biological bondage is cringe. It's cringe. I'm tripling down on this. Quadrupling down on it,
but I'm still going to finish. You can triple down on it, but I'm still going to finish. You don't raise a child under a lie. That's the problem. You are okay with raising a child under a lie. You are okay with raising a child under the notion that because the child would function better under a traditional family household, that you are willing to risk all sense of morale, all sense of betterment of personhood, just in order to appeal to a child and just to pander to a woman. Are you fucking serious? Wow. No, you're cooked.
100%. No, I'm not cooked. I'm being entirely consistent. I think it's totally logical. It makes perfect sense.
You know what? I'm definitely gonna look. When you upload this video to YouTube, I'm definitely gonna take the recording of the video and I'm gonna do my own spin on it. I promise you I am.
Do it, man.
Because this is wild. This is absolutely wild. Yeah, I definitely will. Because we need a part 2 to this. Moderated debate on this, because there ain't no fucking way, bro. That's crazy.
Rook Spinner says there's a very easy way to solve this. Men worried about this should either be prepared to get a paternity test or just date cis men. Done.
Yep, good to know that your following is just as batshit as you are.
They're not batshit, dude. We love bro. Elysium Makina, thank you so much for that tip, dude. That is crazy. I am actually astonished how few people are in my in my YouTube channel and they actually donate. It's nuts, dude. I can't believe it. Thank you so much. But bro, I feel like you have your argument. I'm glad that you have sussed this out of me, because I got to tell you, man, I'm now much more staunch on this than I initially started. At first, I had no opinion. Now I am tripling, quadrupling down on this.
I, at this point, couldn't give a singular shit whether or not you are tripling or quadrupling down. My main appeal is to get less people to think like you, because that is crazy. That is insane.
Why?
You can believe it as much as you want. That is your prerogative.
But why?
I know that it is better to function in a society that functions off of truth, right? And the truth of the matter is that for number one, there are too many women in 2024 that would rather put another man through a case of paternity fraud rather than be transparent with their child. And because of that, you have a lot of men. You have probably one of the top 5 reasons as why we have such a high excruciating excruciating suicide rate amongst the collective of men, especially in the West. And you are literally contributing to this by unironically advocating for such a belief.
Bro,
you are advocating for you're advocating for
where the hell are people are men killing themselves because they were not the real father?
You're advocating for a lie. You're advocating not only to lie to the man, but to lie to the child. Yeah, because I'm more
interested in the care of the child than whether or not that it's a lie.
You're going under a
gladly lie for my child.
You're going under a flawed perception based off of your own anecdote.
I don't think it's a flawed perception.
Just because you didn't give a shit about who your biological grandmother is versus who
why
your
would I give a shit about that? Whoever was around is who I cared about. This is also true for adopted kids as well.
Across the globe.
Adopted kids don't give a crap about the parents that drop them off. What they do is they care about their real parents, the parents that actually took care of them.
You know this is not a comparison.
Yeah, it is.
You know that adopted kids is not a comparison.
Why not?
I'm gonna leave the floor to somebody else before I go off on a tangent. You know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm gonna go back to the.
Good talking to you.
That was not a good talk, but
that was a good talk.
Yeah.
All right, I'll put you back down.